Hello everyone, I'm Alfonso Berry. This is Tiger Eye News for the final week in January. January was actually a very pleasant month for weather. When we come back, we'll take a look at the forecast for the rest of the month. We'll also take a look at a very exciting chance to study abroad in France. We'll have the details coming up soon. But first, let's go back in time a bit for a look at some of the most remarkable events of 2014.
Hello, I'm Sylvia Alls with Tiger Eye News, here to bring you the 3 most remarkable events of 2014. The first is the SSU ban, or the death of the SSU band member. The second one is the civil riots with Ferguson and Eric Garner. And the third is Ebola. The death of the SSU band member is extremely remarkable, especially for Savannah State University, because it really hit home. According to a lot of sources, this young man was a great friend, he was a great mentor, and for him to lose his life in the manner that he did was extremely startling, and it opened up a lot of debates about the use of marijuana, the legalization of marijuana in America, and it also opened conversation about the concern of students at Savannah State University. You know, are we really cared for when situations like this happen? More or less, are we looked at as important? The second most remarkable event in 2014 was Ebola. This was huge, especially in America, because everyone thinks, you know, America, the land of the free, the home of the brave, we're so great, you know, nothing can happen to us. Wrong. Granted, West Africa was hit the hardest with Ebola, but when we had our first case of Ebola here in Texas, I think that opened a lot of eyes to how serious this disease was, and the simple fact that nobody could really figure out where Ebola came from, where it comes from. It was a shock, and it was a huge scare. You know, it put a lot of people on edge. Definitely Ebola is one of the most remarkable events of 2014. And last but not least, the third most remarkable event of 2014 were the civil riots, or Ferguson and the case of Eric Garner. These events rather, are extremely remarkable because it's 2014 and people of color still have to deal with the racial injustices due to the justice system, police. America has a lot of work to do. I thank you all for listening to my thoughts and opinions of the 3 most remarkable events of 2014. Again, I'm Sylvia Alls with Tiger Eye News.
We'll be right back, and once we return, we'll have a look at the forecast.
Hello everyone, I'm Jasmine Okeke with the Tiger Eye forecast for the 3rd week of January 2015. Welcome back to class. Now that we're all back and hard at work on our studies, we have some very nice weather to go along with it. We're going to enjoy several days of sunshine and mild temperatures, but change is coming too, and we'll take a look at that as well. Right now we're having weather warmer than usual for this time of year, just for a couple of more days, and then there will be a mild cool down. As we said, by Friday, those clouds have moved in, so that's where the cool weather comes in. And we look for a high of about 56 degrees with those clouds, and a good chance of rain, maybe as high as 96%. The low Friday, 48 degrees. Saturday, we get a pleasant warm-up and the return of sunshine with a high of 59 and a low of 47. Sunday, more sun and a bit warmer still with a high of 60 and a low of 37. Then for the next couple of days after that, the temperature drops off again. Monday, look for a high of about 59 with the low of 43 and partly cloudy. And then on Tuesday, another burst of cool air with temperatures dropping a bit below normal to about 55 with a low of 36. I'm Jasmine Okeke, and this has been your Tiger Eye forecast.
Spring semester is already back underway, and this semester we have a especially unique event. Tasha Adams-Fox will give you a special sneak peek on what's going to happen.
So the information meeting or interest meeting is basically to get a really good gauge on the student bodies as far as JMC and their interest level in doing the first JMC award show. key concept is really to show the talent of JMC students and to give awards from the students, by the students, and even students to the professors and vice versa. Right. So it's just a night of celebration. So that's the other part. I'm hoping that it means that students are really looking for a platform to really voice their opinions, right? Also to show their creativity, where it's beyond just the classrooms. So you can actually have someone that's majoring in, or their concentration could be PR, but they actually have other talents that's something more creative like hair and makeup or fashion. This is something that they could actually bring all of those creative talents to and put them together. Fingers are crossed that this happens April 2015. Immediately next, we've asked students to come up with their own categories that they are going to have students vote on. And then once that happens, we're going to come up with a brand in terms of how we're going to promote this. And then our next meeting will be the second week of January.
And there's another special event. There's a chance to study abroad in France. Dior Natera has special details.
Je m'appelle Dior. Je parle français un peu. Et vous? I said, my name is Dior. I speak French. And you?
Parlez-vous français?
Oui, je vis à Paris.
Ah yeah! J'adore Paris.
Moi aussi.
Hit me! We're speaking French because we're going to Paris. SSU is going to Paris for the first time. It's a study abroad program where you get to intern in Paris and you end up with a certification in luxury fashion management at the end of, I think it's a 4 to 6 week program. What made me say yes is the certificate. I want to acquire as many of those as I possibly can before or after I finish college. I just want certificates to get my hands in different fields. I want to have different skills and different assets when I leave college. I don't want to just be stuck in one track. I'm looking forward to being in Paris and going to the museums and getting to know a little bit of the history of the city while actually being there, because it's one thing reading about it, it's another actually being there. And also speaking French, making associates that I may have, keep contact with after college, and also the internship program. I'm really excited to see how business works in France, and I know they've always been a great city since, the beginning of our times. Really, they've been a major city in history. So not only for business, but for fashion, for just any foreign business. It's a wonderful city, a beautiful city, from what I've been told. Well, I studied French for 3 years in high school. My father, he raised me. He speaks French, and so does my uncle. And so we speak French at the house. Like, I grew up going with him to like the French bakery in Kansas City and with his French group, and they speak French, and they have, the pastries and coffee, and they speak French, and so they have a little culture they get together on the weekends on a Sunday, and so my dad took me and my siblings there, and I grew up with liking the culture, and we would watch like plays in French, and so my ear has been trained to listen to French. You can find out on tigerswear.com. There will be a story on it shortly. There's also the Professor Aurora from COBA and Professor Sloan from Kennedy Fine Arts, or the International Study Abroad office up in the Circle, and on Tiger Eye News.
Awesome. That's it for our show. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alfonso Berry, and I'll see you next time on Tiger Eye News.